Okay. Hi, we're here today. I'm Judy, and this is
I'm Helen.
Helen. Okay,
My
we're
name.
really
Yeah.
okay. We're going to talk about life in Munkach and the family in from Munkach, and then we're going to try to talk about the war years and the present years, and we're going to try to make this so that our families have a first-hand account and a remembrance of us. I'm sorry that I didn't do it to my mother, but I'm lucky enough to do it with Helen, Bobby Helen. So today's July 1st, 2015, and we're in Bobby Helen's house. And
The background.
okay, so now we're going to ask a little bit about the background. I have
Yeah.
some questions that might help Bobby remember. Okay, so please tell me your name.
Helen Herman, born Elner.
Okay, and the city in which you were born?
Munkach, 1926.
1926. And who lived in the household with you?
As a single
Yeah.
before the war, yeah. We were living with three sisters, at Heidi Rivcho and myself, and then Shamu, Joshka, Zrilo, and Marci. That
Right.
means we were 7 kids.
And your mom and dad.
And my mommy and daddy.
Um,
My father and my mother.
okay. And just can you tell me a little bit about the household?
The household was strictly a beautiful, warm household, full of love and care that we all appreciated, and that's how we grew up. And was strictly Orthodox. And yes, you want to ask any other questions?
What did your father do?
My father was in a business. He had a leather business that he wanted. He was from the beginning as he got married all his life. And then we had another store with shoe business on Main Street. And as I guess we remember that we were, I don't know how rich we were, but we were okay, well-to-do in order we didn't miss anything.
So I just want to say that last year, Yoni and I, with Alex and Moshe, went to Munkach, and we looked up where Bobby lived, and it really was a beautiful street. It was cobblestone. It was a beautiful house, a beautiful street. The house is probably renovated at this point, but tree lined, and nearby was Lenkanani. Right?
Yeah, that was the lake. Was around the block was the lake, the tennis court, and the soccer
Right.
Stadium, and also the beautiful park.
Right.
That
which we did see, and we saw everybody's
Right.
The proximity where Uncle Sam lived,
Right.
and Lincoln Nanny lived, and
Yeah.
where the shops were. So even today, 70 years later, it's a beautiful area.
Right, and also the way we grew up, my father was strictly Orthodox, but he always gave us whatever he thought that is nice lifestyle. That means we had in the back a ping pong table that we had doing a lot of playing with it, and also Zrilu was playing accordion.
Oh.
And Yoshko had a violin.
Oh, wow.
And it was a very happy household. And we always had the friends over. That's how my parents wanted to.
Do you know what years these were?
They was years from that I remember from 38 till 44. Because in 38 I was 12 years old. So I don't want to go lower than that.
So from 38 to 44, these were happy years?
That's what I remember. Good.
Right. So these were the ping pong and the violin and the accordion.
And an open house for everybody. All the friends came around.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sounded very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the family's background. Everybody was Shomer Shabbos. How about education?
The education that the boys went to Haider, and then there was no such a thing that it was this Yaakov in Munkach that today I am surprised because the way I see today my grandchildren or great-grandchildren growing up, we did not have that. We had like a Jewish teacher came on once a week in the public school to give us some kind of history.
So she came to your house?
No,
No?
it came to the class.
Oh, to the class.
To the class, to the school. That means I was able to finish till 1942 two high schools.
Oh.
Because then the Jews were unable to continue
Right.
in the public school, and then it was a Hebrew high school, but according to those days, it was very Zionistic. That today we look at it in a different way, and that wasn't. I don't know how much religious was, but my father didn't let me go there.
Oh,
He
interesting.
said, he said it's not pasnished for him to send me over there. So they opened like a private school, not a school, like a private class, and whoever could afford. So my mother put me there for a couple of hours a week. That they gave us a little English and a little Hebrew and a little German, that to be occupied, because we didn't have where to go to school and somehow to take care of the time.
Right. So in addition to interviewing Babi Helen, because my mother lived in the same household,
right, we grew
I
up
assume
together.
that all of your stories, in terms of the school or
Everything
the
was
tutoring,
she was able to do probably more schooling because
she
she was older.
Right. So throughout this whole interview, maybe Babi Helen will talk about experiences, but it's really the same experiences were my mother and
exactly.
and
my
Jew.
other sister.
Right. Okay, so basically, sounds like a happy home.
A very happy home. That when I got actually in '44, and they took us, they didn't know that we're going to wind up in Auschwitz. I didn't know what that means or where we are. But when I saw that we are surrounded by the electric wires, so I saw just the sky and the electric wires. So I made my husband of life that I'm 18, and I felt if I have to die, I had a full life, happy life.
Wow.
So it doesn't sound like I was, to me, that I was 18. I thought that I was much older because I had a full life behind me.
So I mean, at some point we'll go back and forth, but I remember some stories that my mother told me that, again, the grandfather had a shoe factory, and so my mother was the oldest girl. And
not a shoe factory.
A shoe store, and because they wanted the grandparents wanted her to dress nice, and she always had pretty shoes.
That's
and
right. Was no problem.
Right, and she even laughed that sometimes they were tight, but they were very pretty, so she wore them anyway.
Exactly.
So did that happen to you too?
Yeah, I just went in, and my father said that I always take just shoes from the store. I better marry a shoe from a shoe factory.
A shoe man, right.
Who owns a shoe factory.
Okay, and then there are stories that I know that my mother with my grandmother went to
the spa.
To the spa, and they went
in
together.
1941.
That was in 1941, and
went to Budapest.
So Babi Feige would talk about it, that it was a big trip, and she was the oldest girl, and it was an honor to go, and it was a big deal, and it was also a bit of a luxury, no?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I went. That was 41. In 42 and 43, I went with my mother to Hajdúszoboszló. That was also a spa. So the 1942 and 43, I went with her.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, throughout the whole video, we'll just go back and forth a little bit. We want to get all the stories in.
Right.
Okay, so we talked a little bit here. Again, I have these questions that I'm going through. Munkac was a city or a small town or a village?
A city of 35,000 inhabitants.
Yeah. So it was a big place. It was a big place.
They say that was 50-50, 50 Jews and 50% non-Jews. Yeah.
Right. So again, because we were there recently, it really is a big city, and we went to the other neighboring little towns that my grandparents were in, and Munkac even today is a hub. and there's Yiddishkeit going on because of the Munkacher Rebbe.
Right.
I guess in those days it was just the same.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my father was a supporter of the Munkacher Rebbe.
Oh.
I don't know. He didn't daven there, but I guess he always gave there,
Okay.
whatever he had to need to give out.
Okay. So now we're going to go a little bit about, did you have contact with the non-Jews before the war?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because of the store?
No, because on the street there's some non-Jews also, and from the school girls that I went to school with. But we never experienced anti-Semitism till we found out about 42 started, because then the Hungarian took us over in 1939 and they overthrew the Czech government.
Okay.
So till 1939 we were under the Czech government under President Masaryk, and then
those were good years?
That was very good years. And then it started that they closed down the stores, and it's already, they couldn't go to the public schools, the Jews. It started till 1944, when in March came in the Germans.
Okay.
March 44.
So as the war became closer, did your family ever have a chance to leave? Was it a discussion? Was it a thought? I know you didn't believe that
My
this would
father
happen.
was we had a radio also, those days was a big thing, and he was very up to the politics that's going on around the world. And he was a very big reader. That means he was very knowledgeable what's going on. But exactly what's going on outside Munkac or outside Hungary, we really didn't know what's going on, that they're already deported Jews from Czechia or from Poland. We wasn't aware so much. The only thing we know that some Polish boys came over through the border to Munkac, and then in the schools they made announcements that if people, because they were like hiding out, they didn't have a, so we should open their houses for at night in order that they should hoover. So we opened the gate, we didn't close it for the night, and we had a basement, and my mother prepared all the food and everything for them, that they know that they can come there and sleep.
So you didn't even know who went in the basement?
No, we did not know, but we knew that that's going to be Jewish boys, because that's the only way that in shul they announced it, that we should help them out.
So they came at night?
They came at night, in the morning they left, and where they went around between the people, nobody realized that they are Polish or not. And that's what happened. We were able to help them out.
So you really didn't, yeah. Wow, very nice. Okay, I'm going to stop it now because I want to ask Bobby Helen if she has any pictures of your parents and our family, things like that. Okay?